Welcome to Evolving with Amy, a space for growth, self-discovery, and becoming the best version of yourself. The amount of times that I had to practice that, you guys, so that I can get it perfect, I can't even joke. It was probably like 10 times. But you know what? We're here. And if you've been here for a while, then you know that I have been wanting to transition into more talk and more conversation about self-growth and self-discovery, especially since a lot of you guys have witnessed my growth. And I think that this channel is going to be perfect for that because we can both evolve together. As some of you guys know, this channel used to be Las Chicas del Pod, where I had a podcast with two of my very dear friends. However, we no longer have that podcast anymore. I live in Arizona, they live in California, and things have changed and we have evolved into this. Now, with their permission, I will be keeping the podcast episodes on a playlist. So in case you guys want to go check it out, you can. May I warn you that maybe for some of the things that I've talked about in the past, I may have evolved from and now don't necessarily have the same beliefs as I did or go about things the same way as I used to. So hello, my name's Amy. If you're new here, welcome. And if you aren't, also welcome. This channel is going to be all about growth, self-discovery, and becoming the best version of yourself. With that said, today we're going to talk about a topic that's very dear to my heart, which is self-love and how to prioritize yourself. A lot of us were never really taught how to put ourselves first without feeling guilty. But self-love isn't just about treating yourself. It's about how you show up for yourself every single day. Growing up, especially where I grew up, we weren't really taught how to put ourselves first. It was always family first. It was always everyone else first and then you last. It was always doing and thinking and being there for others without showing up for yourself first. And then I transitioned into thinking that self-love was about getting your nails done, getting your pedicure, getting a little massage, maybe buying yourself a little coffee. But then I realized that it's so much bigger than that. When I realized that I was waiting for other people to show up for me in the same ways that I showed up for them, I realized that maybe I needed to show up for myself the way I would want someone else to show up for me. And that mindset for me changed absolutely everything. If you're struggling to put yourself first, I'm going to give you 3 key points that help me a lot and I think could also help you too. And before I get there, if you haven't, please consider subscribing to this channel, liking and commenting so that we can start getting into the algorithm of more people that want to start prioritizing themselves and want to focus on their self-discovery and growth. Also, if you would love to share this with your friends, I think a lot of us could benefit from self-growth. But hey, also do not judge anyone who isn't ready for that commitment. The veil gets removed when we're ready to go to that next level. And it's okay if not everyone around you is on the same page as you. Tip number 1 is setting boundaries without feeling guilty. Not too long ago on my personal YouTube channel, I was talking to you guys about this topic. And sometimes it's so hard for ourselves to set boundaries without feeling guilty because those people around us have manipulated us into feeling guilty and therefore doing things for them that we don't even feel comfortable doing sometimes. If you're always saying yes to things that you don't want to do, you're literally training people to expect that behavior from you, to expect the yes from you. We have to remember that boundaries aren't mean. They are a way to protect us, and they are necessary for us to catapult to the next level.
So how do we do it?
We start small. If you're always answering text messages right away, and maybe you're not emotionally capable of doing that in that moment because you're dealing with whatever you're dealing with, start by actually waiting until you have the time, until you have the emotional capacity, until you can answer that text message instead of going out of your way simply because they might say or feel or think something if you don't. If someone asks for something of you and you don't feel like doing it, maybe consider telling them, I appreciate you asking, but I can't this time. No over-explaining, no having to excuse yourself. It's simply a no. No, thank you, not this time. Let's circle back and maybe figure out another time that works for both of us. You don't have to explain the reason why you don't want to do it. You don't have to explain or tell people that you don't want to do it simply because you can't or you don't want to or you don't have the financial means to do it. Whatever that is, figure out how you feel about what they're asking you to do. And if you don't feel like doing it, practice saying no thank you without over explaining yourself. It took me a while to come to this realization, but people who respect you are also going to respect your boundaries. And it took me a while because then I realized if you're not respecting my boundaries is because you're not respecting or considering my feelings. And you know what happened? Those relationships, those friendships, those people are no longer in my life. And I'm okay with that because I want people around me who consider my feelings and who consider me, not people who are selfish and only want me to do things for them and with them on their own time. Tip number 2, pour into yourself first. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly putting other people first, you're gonna eventually burn out. And when you burn out, those people are not gonna come and pick up after you or for you. They're gonna continue their life. They're gonna continue to do what they do without considering where you are. So how did I start pouring into myself first? I started to put a set time away of my day, just as if I was scheduling a meeting for work, just as if I was scheduling a get together with a friend, whether that's journaling for you, working out, or literally just sitting with your coffee, maybe meditating. Make it non-negotiable. Make it to where no matter what, every single day for 30 minutes at this specific time, this is what I'm gonna do for myself, regardless of what that looks like. A habit that I've built is reading at night, for example. I have a set schedule for myself, especially because I'm a content creator and I'm on social media, where I literally cut myself from being on my phone and consuming anything after a certain time of the day. And what do I do before going to sleep? I'll at least read for 30 minutes. That not just allows me to show up for myself and literally gain more knowledge about a specific topic that I want to read about, but it also allows me to continue to show up for myself and pour into myself in the ways that I like, in the ways that feel fulfilling for me. Depending on who you speak with, sometimes they'll tell you,
you're being selfish for putting yourself first. You're being selfish because you don't want to do whatever I want to do.
No, you're not being selfish. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It actually shows others your standard of love and what you will and will not take from someone else. And again, the people that don't like that, it doesn't have to resonate with them. These are my standards, and if you're not willing to meet them, then I don't need you in my life. Aside from that, it actually helps you to show up for others and everything else in your life in a much better way. Because now your mind is clear. Now you feel rested. Now you feel empowered. Now you feel confident because you've shown up for you. And now you can pour out from an overflowing cup instead of a cup that's running dry. And tip number 3, and I think in my opinion is one of the most important ones, change how you talk to yourself. The way we talk to ourselves is literally shaping our whole reality. And if you're constantly talking down on yourself, no amount of self-care will fix that. So how do you do it? You literally start by catching your own negative thoughts and flipping them. When I was younger, I used to be overweight. And so I hated pictures. I hated looking at myself in the mirror. I had a face full of acne, a face full of scars, a body full of acne. I was overweight. I had a body full of stretch marks, and I hated myself, almost, to say the least. I did not like the way that I looked. I was angry, I was sad, and it took me some years in therapy and getting to know myself to start loving myself just the way that I am. Matter of fact, I've talked to you guys about a book, Calling in the One, which helped me from seeing myself as defeated, as ugly, as nasty, into the most confident and self-loving person that I could have ever imagined to be. So instead of, I suck at this, I look fat, my acne's nasty, my skin is nasty, no one's ever gonna wanna be with me, no one likes me, I'm so dumb for doing this. Instead, try being graceful towards yourself and say, I'm trying, I'm learning, I'll get better, I'm showing up, I'm doing what needs to be done so that my future looks a little different. You see how we just change our mindset and the way we speak to ourselves from negative talk to positive talk? We have to remember that whatever age you're at, and however old you are in this moment, this is your first time living this day. This is your first time living at this age. And you, just like the rest of the world, is just trying to figure it out. Remind yourself that you're going at your own pace. And instead of saying, I'm behind, I should have had this figured out already, I should have gotten my degree, I should have gotten this car, I should have had my family, I should have had this job already, I should have finished my career, I should have finished my degree. I should be already established. Tell yourself, I'm moving at my own pace and everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for the highest good of myself and those around me. You wouldn't talk to your best friend the way that you talk to yourself, would you? So find or think of the person that you love the most and talk to yourself the same way that you would talk to them. Self-love isn't a one-time thing. It's figuring out ways to show up for yourself every single day. And for all of us, that looks very different. So just show yourself a little compassion and start showing up for you. You'll start to see that the more you show up for yourself, the better you show up in every other relationship that you have around you. Let me know in the comments which 3 of these points you are going to start with, because today is a good day to start. No more waiting until tomorrow, no more waiting until the 1st, until Monday, until nothing. Today is a good way to start, and sometimes we can start small. We don't ever have to start big. One positive thing you say to yourself on a daily basis will help you for your tomorrow to look a lot different and brighter. If this resonated with you, please, please, please like, share, and comment, and do not forget to follow for more of these videos and share them with your friends, your family, and for anybody who you love, because we have to remember that when we are loved, we are also pouring love out of us, and those people are pouring love out of themselves, and therefore everyone who is around you becomes a loving individual. I'm excited to see where this journey takes us, so thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for always being super supportive and spending your day and your time with me. I appreciate it so much, and until the next one, we are gonna keep evolving